ready. Hi everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Kat Ho and welcome to my channel. If you want to join the community, feel free to subscribe or follow me on Instagram or both. This video is part of a new series I've created called How to Crush School, where I explain my experience and my advice for high school and college students. At the end, I'll tell you about another series I've created, so stay tuned for that. But this video is about the college process and what colleges I applied to, how I dealt with college rejection, and how I stayed stress-free during that year. So without further ado. Okay, so what colleges I applied to. So I applied to Boston College, which is where I go now. I applied early action. I applied to Northeastern early action. I applied to Boston University, I think early action. Actually, they might not have early action. I think I applied to them regular decision. I applied to Simmons regular decision, and I applied to Stonehill regular decision, and I applied to UMass Amherst early action. So if you know anything about these colleges, you probably know that they're all in Massachusetts. I personally feel lucky that there are so many colleges around where I live in the Boston area, and I didn't feel like I had to go that far to find a great college. And I also didn't feel like how some people want to be far from home. Like, I didn't feel that need either. I've probably seen my parents like 3 or 4 times per semester maybe, so not that much or anything. But I also am a nursing student and I want to work in a hospital in Boston, so this was actually super advantageous that I go to college around here. So yeah, that's kind of why they're all in Massachusetts and not out of state, in case you're wondering. So where I got in. I first got into UMass Amherst. I was a little bit relieved just to like be in college, but I really didn't want to go there. I didn't see myself there at all. My sister went there. It's a fantastic school, but I didn't see myself at a really big school, and also not in like the city, and I don't know why I put air quotes on that, but also I didn't see myself in kind of rural area, and I just felt like I would get swallowed up in a school that was too big for me. And yeah, so that's why I got in there, but it was more of like a safety school, and just like it's just one of the schools that when you go to my high school, you just like apply there. I did get free tuition though, which was kind of a bummer because like I didn't want to go there at all, but it kind of was like a stab to be like, dang, I would have got free tuition though, but I really didn't want to go there. So the second school I got into was Simmons. I don't know if this is the order that I got into them or whatever, so like don't really pay attention to that, but okay, got into Simmons around February, I think, and the admitted students day is actually when I realized that I wanted to do nursing, because they have a fantastic nursing program, and they really sold it to me. Like, I did not want to go to Simmons at all, and Simmons ended up being my second choice just because of their nursing program and how amazing it was. So I actually got into Simmons, and then after admitted students day, I emailed and was like, can I apply to be like switched into the nursing program? And then a little bit later, they accepted me into the nursing program. And I remember like I got the letter and I was like, Dad, I'm in the Simmons nursing program. And he was like crying, and it was like really cute. But the thing about Simmons was that like I loved the nursing program so much, which is what made it my second choice, like I said. But I really didn't want to go there as a college. Like, I didn't want to go to an all-girls school. I didn't want to go to a really small school. There's like 1,500 students maybe. That's literally smaller than my high school. So, and it also didn't have ultimate frisbee, but okay. So anyways, the third college I got into was Stonehill. It's also kind of a small-ish college, about like 60 miles from where I live maybe, and it has a beautiful campus, and it was also one of my safety schools because I applied to Simmons and Stonehill over winter break, because after, I'll tell you what I'm about to tell you soon, I just wanted to have more schools that were like safety. So I got into Stonehill maybe around March, but I didn't really have a desire to go there at all, and I didn't even end up going to the Admitted Students Day, but I thought the campus was really pretty, so that's the thing. The fourth college I got into was Boston College. Yeah, I didn't go to the Stonehill Admitted Students Day because I got into BC before the Admitted Students Day for Stonehill happened, and so I was like just committed to BC and didn't feel like going to the Stonehill Admitted Day. So I applied early action to BC in like October or something, or maybe it was before that, and then I found out in like November or something. But I then got deferred to regular decision, which was actually really hard for me. I took it pretty well at first, but then I literally remember the next day, Friday morning, I was eating breakfast, getting ready to go to school, and my mom called my dad, and like his phone was an iPhone 3. It was literally like 7 years old, and so when he answered and stuff, it was on speaker, and she told me that our family friend got in, and I just like burst into tears and was like, why would you say that? And like, it was really hard because I was taking it pretty well up to then. I was like, there's a chance, I can do it. But then like when I heard that someone else got in, it just felt really real, you know? Obviously she didn't know she was going to be on speaker and stuff, but I was super angry. Like, you couldn't even wait. But yeah, so I got deferred, and then I got accepted March, like late March. Yeah. So the last college I got into was BU, Boston University, and like they accepted me, but for my sophomore year, so they accepted me as like a guaranteed transfer, which was kind of, I didn't really think that was cool. But then I found out, this is some tea. I heard that they will accept a lot of people for their sophomore year because they know a lot of people are going to leave freshman year, and then they don't actually include the statistics of the transfers into their like overall BU statistics, like test scores, grades, whatever, so that they look better as a school overall. So that's tea. Sucks to BU. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, obviously we kind of have a rivalry with BU, but like, I don't know. But yeah. Okay, so that's some tea. I have no idea if it's true, so take it with a grain of salt, but I low-key believe it 900%. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about rejection and then 3 tips that literally saved my life through this college process. Okay, so first, rejection. So obviously I didn't get into Northeastern because I was literally the only college that was left from that list, if you're paying attention. But that was really disappointing at first. I actually have a journal entry that I'll read for you in a sec, but I was super, super bummed. And yeah, here's the journal entry. Thursday, January 18th, 2018, 4:45 p.m. Ugh, I got deferred for Northeastern. I feel like no one wants me. Ugh, I'm so over this feeling. And I'm like ashamed to tell my parents. Like, I feel so stupid. Like, why don't they want me? Why are they doing this? I'm so much kinder than many other people who go there. So why is this happening? Why doesn't karma apply to me? Ugh. I just want to be wanted. Like, it's so hard to be upbeat and everything while I don't have a clear future set. Like, I'm truly resenting this. I haven't even told my parents yet. My dad just got home. Ugh. I feel so ashamed that, ugh. I don't know. I'm just so mad about this. And like, it just makes me feel like I'm not good enough, and I know that's not supposed to be the case, and I'm supposed to be strong and confident and not let others' opinions get to me, but I can't help it. Here in Newton, that doesn't apply. Kids aren't brought up to be mentally strong and deal with things like this on their own. When I grow up, I don't know if I could have my kids here. I want them to grow up in a place where everyone's supportive and they have the resources to build strong characters and be confident in themselves. I genuinely feel defeated, and like I just feel like I don't want to go anywhere someone doesn't want me. But I don't know, hopefully I'm processing these feelings well, and we'll do it well the rest of the week. Definitely an Insta and Facebook free weekend, because if people got in, I don't want to know. This sucks, but in 3 months, none of this will matter. I will have made a decision and been accepted into a place that's right for me. Ugh, of course I'm currently on Naviance researching how I compare with the stats of other applicants. Like, it's so toxic. This whole college process is just so, why do they put us through this? LOL. Newton is too coddling. I feel like the strength I have to not cry right now comes from my own inner strength, and any reason for me to feel bad is because of my high school. This is such a bummer, but it's okay. I'm going to stay strong through this. Dad said he didn't think I'd get in anyway. Why did he tell me this now? I feel inspired to write to my BC admissions officer. I'm gonna do that. Okay. And then later I was like, so yeah, basically I rebounded within like 10 minutes and I just wrote a great email to my BC admissions officer. So that was really kind of depressing. I said ugh a lot. I don't know if you noticed, but that's kind of how I was feeling. I also like mentioned some stuff about blaming Newton, which like was probably me just displacing my anger, but also at the same time, we always say how Newton's like a bubble and how you're like really sheltered and all that stuff, so I partly believe it. But anyways, okay, so I was deferred from Northeastern, and then I was rejected, and I was kind of, when I was rejected, I was like, whatever, because I think by then I had gotten into BC. Yeah, I think I was literally like rejected later, so I was like, whatever, I'm already going to college. So now I'm going to share the 3 tips that literally saved my life this process. So listen up. Okay, so the first tip is staying out of the conversation. I'm someone who honestly is really oblivious to like most conversations, like what's trending and politics, which may or may not be a deliberate choice, but we'll get into that maybe in another video. But I'm someone who's just doesn't really ever know what's going on. But I deliberately didn't want to know what's going on during this whole college process because I just don't understand how it would be beneficial to find out that other people got in at certain places or other people didn't get in certain places or other people are applying to these places or blah, 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 blah. Like, I didn't understand how that would be beneficial at all because it's not. So I literally, like, whenever I would talk to my friends and stuff, I would make an effort to not really ask about anything like that or contribute to those conversations. But by the way, there is a way that you can have those conversations and have it not be stressful. And that would be saying things like, oh, how are you feeling? Like, this is a really stressful time. Like, are you feeling okay? Is fine. And also like, what are you looking for or whatever. But not like, where did you apply? Or like, what have you heard? Or what have you heard about other people? Because the first couple questions implies that you care about the person and like you actually care about them and their life and everything and how they're doing. And the other questions just kind of sound like, I want to know where you're applying so that I can judge it. The college process is a super judgmental conversation and there's a lot of emotions running high even though everyone suppresses them. But it's just a touchy subject. So even now as a college freshman, my mom's like, oh, where are your like senior friends applying or where did they decide to go? And I'm like, I don't know. I just texted them and said, wherever you decide to go, we'll be lucky to have you. Let me know when you decide, but I'm not going to ask you where you're applying or how that's going because like that's just stressful and I'm sure you'll appreciate me not asking about that because literally every adult is like, so where'd you apply? So applying to college. So yeah. And my biggest like tip about staying out of the conversation, and this is literally the one tip that I tell everyone, the best way that I stayed out of the conversation was literally changing my Facebook tab. Like, you know how you have your bookmarks? My Facebook bookmark was my own page instead of my news feed. And this was life-changing because I never had to be scared that I'd go on Facebook or something and see like Boston College class of 2022 when I wasn't accepted yet, or like Northeastern 2022 when I was deferred, you know? And so I just knew that I would never feel bombarded by that type of announcement. And actually to this day, my Facebook is still just my page so that when I'm going on my newsfeed, it's like a conscious decision to procrastinate or see random, any type of thing that could happen. That was probably the best decision I made and honestly helped me just stay out of the conversation and not feel stressed. Like, you don't want to just go on your computer to like look at memes and then see Boston College 2022 and then be like depressed, you know? Like, you don't want to be confronted by those feelings when you're not ready. So that's definitely my biggest tip. My second tip, this one's like key. Emailing my BC admissions officer. When I was deferred, it gives me the name of the admissions officer, and actually when you go online to BC's website, you can look and see who your admissions officer will be based on your geographical location. So mine was like Eastern Mass or something. Like, it made it clear that that was my admissions officer, and the name did match up with who actually emailed me to defer me. And so I emailed her saying why I really want to come to BC. This is my top choice. I really want to get accepted, because here's the thing. They are seeing thousands of applications, and you need yours to stand out, and not just in the way of like extracurriculars and stuff, because like, yes, you'll stand out in that way, but at the same time, like, there's so many applicants who are also doing those extracurriculars, who are doing better extracurriculars, who are doing more volunteer work. And so you want to stand out. So I knew that if someone had the same grades as me, had the same extracurricular involvement, volunteering as me, I wanted to be the name that she chose, especially when you're deferred. You want them to be reading your application later and saying, oh yeah, Kat Ho, like, I know them. So I emailed her this long thing about like, when I think about BC, like literally this long email. And then she was like, thanks for sharing. And then a couple months later, closer to the regular decision time, I emailed her being like, I stand by everything I said, and this is how I've even become stronger and like more ready for BC. And then I got in. So that's a big tip. Who knows if that's actually why I got in, but like, I'd like to think that it is, because how can you like say no to someone after they literally poured their heart out and said like, I want to come to this school? And especially because I was deferred, not rejected. It means I'm in the ballpark of students they would accept. So I just kind of needed to like tip it over the edge. You know what I mean? That is that tip. And then my third and final tip is journaling, because as I showed you when I got rejected from deferred, I actually rebounded pretty fast, and like I was able to compartmentalize my feelings really quickly and just kind of get it out in a way where I didn't have to stress out other people. I didn't have to tell other people what I was feeling, because it's a very like personal topic, you know? And then I was able to just make the most of it and go email my BC admissions officer right there. So that would be my third tip. Yeah, that is a story of my college process. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you're still watching, comment below what grade you're in, or what year you're in, or what school you're going to, or what school you're at, or what plans you have for next year. And if you'd like to see specific how I crush school videos, like comment requests for those. Now, what I kind of hinted at the beginning is the new series that I'm working on, and it's actually also hinted on my channel page. So it's called Young Adulting 101, and it's basically for college and high school people, like people who are between being like a kid and like an adult, you know, just right in that teenage area to like young adult, early 20s area as I get older, or at least that's the plan. This series is going to be everything you need to know about young adulting. So like saving money, organization, dating, maybe even puberty. I don't know. It depends on what you want. But most of all, just living and enjoying your youth too. So I'll have some fun videos on there too. You'll have to comment below and tell me what you want to see for that series as well. I already have some videos like lined up, but I always love hearing what you guys think. So comment your grade, your how to crush school requests, your young adulting 101 requests. And I read literally every comment because I just love talking to you guys and hearing what you're saying. So thank you so much for watching this. Subscribe and turn on the bell notifications if you want to see these series and how they pan out. Which, by the way, thank you so much for 100 subscribers. Like, I was so excited when I saw that. I now have my own channel URL. It's Kat Ho on YT. I'm so grateful. Like, I was so excited. So thank you so much. Anyways, do all the things I said before. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll talk to you soon.